Alright, I'm almost done with this thing now. It's got a little bit more to do on it. Gotta upholster the seat and make a chain guard for the clutch and finish the throttle hookups. And that's about it. And the gas tank for the front engine. Gotta make the mount here. But I got it all mounted up. Chain adjusted and everything. I just shimmed it up with washers here. Front axle. That's actually the second. That was a pain in the butt to make, because when I was making it, drilling the holes, I broke a drill bit off in there, and I couldn't get that one out, so I made another axle, and I broke another one off in there, and I managed to get that one out. And so that took a while, but it's looking good. And front forks, got them all assembled. And the handlebars on there. Got some grips on it. I think these were both 1 inch, so I shimmed it up with some, I put a bicycle tube in there so it's tight. And this has got a kill switch on it over here, but I'm not sure if I'm going to hook that up or not. The wires are cut off back here, so I might play with that later on, but we'll see how it does without them. I usually just choke them out anyway, but yeah, and I got this brake put on. The front and the back all adjusted up. Well, might have to readjust that back one, but I had this band brake, but it didn't have any friction material on it, so I epoxied on and riveted this serpentine belt in there. So we'll see how that holds up. And it's got this lever action on it. Put these little joints in there. And a go-kart brake pedal here. So we'll see how that works. And for the throttle, I don't have a dual cable. Couldn't find one in my stash, so I made this. I'm gonna make the joint in here. Like right in here somewhere. I'm gonna tie all 3 cables together. And I already made the back bracket here. Might have to put a return spring on there, but I didn't do the front one yet because it's gonna go down through this hole and hook onto the throttle in there. With the other cable, and I'm gonna put the gas tank up in here. Probably gonna make a mount that comes off the bottom of these bolts and up here, and then I'll clamp the tank to it and run the hose. And then yep, that's about it. And the seat, I got these shocks from my Rupp. They're the original ones from this bike, but they were a little soft and low, so I put these longer ones on to give it a little more ground clearance. I'm gonna use them on here for now. They're a little stiff for this bike, just because they're suspending only the seat, but they'll work. Kind of a cool design. I might actually just copy this design and make some softer ones. See, it's just a rod here, and the spring screw onto it, and screws onto the top, and the pipe goes onto it to keep it aligned. So it's pretty cool. Might copy that design and make my own. I got this seat base all done. Hinges at the front here. I made this backing plate to sandwich the plywood. And the back bracket. Probably gonna try to staple on these nuts here, so if I have to take off the bottom bracket, then the nuts won't get lost in there. And yep, it's a little stiff for these shocks are a little stiff, but we'll see how it does. It felt okay when I was bouncing on it. I got these fenders put on here. This was just one long fender, and I cut a section of it off for the front here. Welded it all around. So that looks okay. Well, my air tank's leaking. Rusted out. Guess I got some welding to do. Alright, got it all welded up. I just chased around the rust hole until I got all the thin spots out. So we'll see how that does. Alright, I changed the oil. Turns out it's been like 2 years since I did it last. So it's been a while. It looked clear on top, but I guess there was a lot of crap in it on the bottom. This thing's getting pretty old though. It's like 15 or 16 years old. This switch got worn out, so I just put this other switch on here. Just kind of stacked it up off of the old one here. When this compressor goes bad, I got a new one up here. Brand new Ingersoll Rand compressor. Got that from a garage sale for 15 bucks. So when this one craps out, I'll switch that one onto it. Alright, I got a guard stabbed on there. It's just one of these little cheapy chrome things. I just used one bolt here. So good enough for what it is. Just to keep the hot grease from flinging on your leg and stuff. Alright, it turns out I gotta make the throttle come in from the bottom rather than the top here, because the idle is down like this rather than up like that. So I made this little bracket to hold the throttle cable, and I'll screw that on between the valve cover screw there and this other screw on the bottom. There's a hole in there. So then I'll be able to have the cable pull from the bottom there, in there like that. And I'll probably do it like I did the back one. And just have the cable sticking in there. And then I'll be able to have this crimp thing on the other end to crimp them all three together. Okay, I got that little throttle bracket there made. It's a little bit hacked up, but it'll work. Gotta adjust that rear one a little bit so it doesn't move in and out. But I got 2 springs on it. Now I can do the seat and front gas tank and it'll be done. Alright, it's the next day now. As you can see, I got the seat done last night. Looks pretty good, not too bad. The front corner here is a little messed up, but looks alright. I whipped it out pretty quick, so wasn't expecting it to actually be this good. Yeah, I tested this thing out yesterday, rode it around quite a bit, and it seems to be pretty good. The biggest problem I was having was the brake with the serpentine belt. It's way too grabby when the clutch heats up, so I just took it off for now. I'll look for a different one or think of something else to use there for friction material. But the engines work pretty good. The back chain here fell off a couple of times, so I'll have to play with the adjustment or maybe make a chain tensioner. See how that works after I get it adjusted again. The front engine works good. Didn't have any trouble with the chain or anything. I wanted to show you the way I did this fuel line here. The fitting here is a 1/4 inch and this line's an 1/8 inch. So I just took a small hose, put it on there, a short section, and I just stuffed that 1/4 inch hose over the 1/8 inch one, clamped it down, and it's good now. It's tight. So that's how I dealt with that. And I got this all clamped on and the bracket here made. I actually lost one of these clamps and I had to go find it in the woods. And then I put it back on there and wired it to the other one so I don't lose it again. But yeah, hauls like a freight train with those 2 engines on it. I didn't have, and this pull start works fine. I'm not even going to bother putting the bigger one on there unless I found one at the junkyard or whatever. So yeah, I'll take it for a ride, show you how it works. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.